Hi guys, I'm Duncan and I've got a big fat dock. A guy in a previous video has requested to take a look at my dock, so I figured I'd get it out for all of you to take a look at. So this is my dock. It's called Rocket Dock and it's downloadable for free. I'll provide the link in the description to the right of the video. Just click more info, and it basically is an application launcher for Windows. It's styled along the same lines as OS X Dock, and you can actually use it instead of the start menu in Windows. Now I actually use both because I like the best of both worlds. I'm so used to using Windows and switching, as you can see with these for the applications. I'm so used to using it that I use it as well as launch applications quickly using Rocket Dock. Now I'll just be showing you how I've set it up, and a cool little docklet that you can get for it. It just makes life easier. I first figured this out when I was using the Asus EPC, and I've been using it on desktops ever since. So I'm just going to go into my settings and show you. If I go to General, now you can see that I run it at startup with Windows. I'm storing it, storing the settings in a portable INI. Now the reason I've got this clicked is because it was advised to do it on a docklet, which I'll be showing you in a second. It basically, I think it's so it stores the information for the docklet, so I'm not sure, but I've just got it ticked because it was said to do that. So you can minimize your windows to the dock, so it will appear down here or something, and you can then click, and then it basically can replace the taskbar, as I've said. And running application indicators, open running application instance, and lock your items. So the icons, I have high quality icons. Not sure what difference it makes, but I have it anyway. It doesn't seem to have a speed difference for me. I've got no transparency. I like to have them fully visible, and the size is 40 pixels at the moment, so that's the size. I don't have the hover effect. You can actually have it so if you've seen a Mac taskbar or dock, sorry, it zooms in as you go across all of your icons. Now I actually find that to be really annoying. I prefer to just have a toolbar with my icons on it that are clickable. So I've got the hover effect off, but you can have it as bubble, plateau or flat, which you choose is up to you. The position by default with Rocket Dock is up the top, but I've actually got mine set to down the bottom, just above my taskbar. It just makes launching applications easier. So as you can see, screen position is bottom. The layering is always on bottom, because if you have it always on top and you maximise an application, it's going to be in the middle, and it's not. Sorry, it's going to be at the bottom, but it's just going to be where you want to work usually. So I've got it on always on bottom. Now some people have talked about clicking show desktop will actually make this disappear. Now I do know that somebody has made a show desktop icon which minimises all the windows instead of actually showing the desktop, but because I don't maximise my applications, it doesn't worry me. I just have that usually visible all the time. So I have it set to always on bottom. Centering allows you to put it to the left, to the right if you really want to, and the edge offset I'm using, as you can see, I've got it so the taskbar is visible, so I've got a slight edge offset at the bottom, so it's just visible above the taskbar. So when I click OK, this bottom line will hide as it's always on bottom, and it will look like it's attached to my taskbar. The style I'm using is Vista Black. There's a bunch of styles that you can get for it, but I just find Vista Black to look the nicest. It even looks nice on Vista because it bases itself off the taskbar, so it's nice to attach itself to the Vista taskbar. It looks like it's native. So I've got no transparency again with the dock, but you can if you like. Previously I disabled the icon labels, but I've actually enabled them now. I've got them with Calibri. I haven't changed any other settings, so as you can see, as I roll my mouse over the icons, you can see all the labels that I have. Now the behaviour, the icon attention is bounce, so when I click to launch one of these, it basically bounces. That's all it does. You can set yourself to auto hide the dock or pop up on mouse over. So those are pretty much the settings that you can get for Rocket Dock. So over here I have my icons. These are all custom icons that you can download. I'll just go into my icon settings to show you. The ones that I have at the moment are black and blue. These are downloadable from the Rocket Dock website, so you can search on their site. I'll provide the link to that as well in the description. So you can see it's set to HP documents or whichever from black and blue, and that's basically all you need to do. This is, as you notice, it says Stacks Docklet. So if I just show you it working, just click OK for the time being. With my documents, normally if you click on my documents in the dock, it will launch your folder, but what if I don't want to do that? I just want to have a quick look and then launch from the dock. Just click that and you'll notice that it pops out much like Leopard, which is the Mac operating system. That does that by default, and you can see I've got all the folders that I've got in my documents. Not very interesting because I've reinstalled Windows recently, so I haven't got much installed, but you can see it's got all my folders, and for example in the index file, if I click that, it will launch index file. So you can basically categorize all your stuff, and as you can see, that's what I've done. I've categorized all my shortcuts into their own icons. Now you'll notice that my documents popped out like that. If, for example, my pictures, which only has a couple of folders in, it pops out in a different way. You can have a choice of fan, which is this, or grid, which is this. You can actually choose that in the icon settings in mode, so fan or grid. Automatic means I think it does about 10 or something. If there's more than 10 icons in your folder, it will switch to grid. If not, it will go to fan. As you can see, the folder here is set to my start menu, which I'll show you in a second why I've done that. And you can also change global settings, but I've not really bothered with that. It says open folder here, so if I wanted to go into my documents now, into the actual folder, instead of doing this, I just click open folder and it'll go into my documents. So my documents, my pictures, and these are all the folders which I've got as set for the icons. All the applications that I use and the custom icons for that are using clear cons. There's a bunch here that you can use, but I'm only using a select few. And you can see I've got virtual, images, audio, video, office, phone, system, network, mail, internet, and download. I'll briefly go over them. If I just OK this. Virtual, I've got VirtualBox, VMware, and a shortcut to run a VirtualBox virtual machine without opening VirtualBox, if that makes sense. So if I just click this, it will open up a command box, and straight away it's opening up my XP virtual machine without opening up VirtualBox. In images, I have Picasa, Paint, and Earth in View. In audio, I have Windows Media Player. Video, I have Media Player Classic and Cam Studio. I've talked about most of these before. I've got the Microsoft Office Suite, Calculator, Address Book. These are standard with Windows. Notebook and WordPad, which are again standard with Windows. What I've basically done is gone into the accessories start menu and added them in their own separate bits. I'll show you that in a second. Phone is my mobile phone. I use the K750i at the moment, so I've got my Phone Explorer and a link to the photo folder that's on my K750i. Now with this, you can actually have a folder full of shortcuts and set the Stacks Docklet to go to that folder, and you can launch all your applications, which is quite handy if you want to do this. I've done mine in a slightly similar but different way. So in System, it opens up as a grid. I've got a bunch of things that are provided with Windows. Again, I've not used this PC long on XP, so here is my network. Again, most standard with Windows. Mail, I'm using Thunderbird and Outlook. Internet, Firefox, the backup application in Internet Explorer. And downloads, there's a link to the downloads folder, FrostWire, and uTorrent. And last but not least is games. Most are provided with Windows. I've got some Need for Speed games here, Underground 2, Most Wanted, and Pro Street. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and a game that I talked about before, which is free, called Trackmania Nations. Brilliant game. And the DirectX diagnostics tool, if I ever want to go into there for any reason. And also the recycle bin. You can actually have a clock docklet, which you can add. So if I say right click here, Rocket Dock, add item, and then Rocket Dock Clock Docklet, opens as an analog clock if I really wanted to. Again, it sort of does it so you can replace the taskbar clock. I'm not quite sure why that's done that, but I'll fix that later. But it can basically replace the taskbar clock, so you can have the clock in your dock. So that is all the stuff that I have in my dock. Now, as I said before, what have I done to these? So I've configured them so the applications are here, because if I was to install an application on my system, for example, I don't know, GIMP, would I have to right click, add icon, and then add it to this area? I don't actually have to do that because I've configured my Stacks docklet to run off the start menu. So if I just show you, for example, virtual, go into the icon settings, the folder is actually using the start menu on my computer. So if I go to the start menu now, you can see my start menus organized, which I've done previously, and if I go to a virtual, you can see there are my icons. Now this has an advantage that, for example, if I was installing GIMP, the icon would appear in its own folder. I can then drag the folder, the shortcut into images. It will result here, and then it will update itself on the dock. So that's really useful to have, because that means you don't have to keep going to the dock and adding shortcuts. All you have to do when you install an application is move the shortcut to the relevant folder. But it does mean making all these folders, organising them, and making the link to the Stacks docklet. So this is my Rocket dock. I hope you haven't fallen asleep, but this is how it works. This is how I've got it set up. I'll provide the relevant links in the description. So thanks for watching my video. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you like my dock, and thanks again.